What do compliance water services do is what we're talking about today on the East Central Business Show. I'm John Naylor, and unsurprisingly joined by the guys from Compliance Water Services. Better than asking someone on the street, isn't it, I guess, gentlemen? Now, Andrew, John, what are the things you typically come to do? We've talked in this 4-part series about the sorts of things that go on about Legionella and the risks and what to do about it, but how do you guys play a role in that?
So I guess, John, the bread and butter of what we do is what we call a water risk management plan, basically a Legionella risk assessment. And it's the starting point for any facility that you have a water risk management plan in place.
Okay, cool. Now, what's an example about that sort of thing? We've talked in a previous video about mining industry and something, quite nasty going on there, but what's another example?
Aged care. Aged care can be one example of risk management plan.
Okay. So what did you do there?
We go around and we do like a survey on the site, so we'll inspect and look for things that might be high risk, and then we'll go through and look like baseline testing, which is microbiological testing to see what's going on with that system.
Yes. Okay.
Do a little bit of an investigation
and when we go around the sites, we also make an inventory of what's on site, of what type of water heaters they've got on site, or if they have hot water or they've got cold water or warm water, an inventory of everything that's water related on site, and that's a Legionella risk.
Okay.
We also, when we identify the risks, we use a risk matrix that then gives it a risk rating. And then from that, we then give them control measures. And it's those control measures that they need to implement, so that when they do their Legionella sampling, which they call verification monitoring, that they're verifying that their control measures are working to manage that Legionella risk. Okay.
Now, in this case, that lack of implementation had a fairly negative result, though.
Yeah, so we'd gone to this aged care facility. It was about 120 beds, and we'd gone and done the water risk management plan and conducted a handover. We went to them and sat down with their facility manager and their maintenance officer and conducted a handover. And John did it, actually, in fact. And then we didn't hear anything from him for a few months, and then we got this phone call, 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and they'd had done some Legionella water sampling, and they'd had 3 positive Legionella results throughout their facility, all at the same time. And and at 5 o'clock on a Friday, they've got their results back because the laboratory sent them through their results, and they're asking us what to do, and they were talking about having to get plumbers in to put in a hot water system to pasteurise to get the hot water system up, and we said, well, with the warm water system that you had on site, turn it up as high as you can and pasteurise.
Okay.
And they got it to 59 degrees.
Okay.
Which in the end worked out to be enough. 60 degrees, it will pasteurise at 2 minutes, but they got it to 59, and they asked us what do we do, and I said, well, I would resample before you implement any costly changes. They came back 10 days later, they got the results again from their resamples, it was all clear. Okay. We went then afterwards and did just a follow-up to see how everything was, and the maintenance officer, he sat down and spoke to us and said, I religiously now go and do the flushing regime that you guys said for us to do.
All right, so that's around the water risk management plan, obviously, and then you came in a consulting role when something went wrong, and were able to give them the right sort of advice to resolve it fairly simply in the end, it sounded. Yeah?
Yes, it was a simple solution, but it would have all been prevented if they'd implemented the advice that we gave them in the first place, and they'd implemented a robust flushing regime.
Okay, and that was ultimately what the guy ended up agreeing to do and starting to do as a result of like the red flag that was raised. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, how about what else is on the menu from you guys? What else do you do?
So one of the other things that we do is a cooling tower audit.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have cooling towers, and best practice is that they have a risk management plan, and then the part that we do is an audit of that risk management plan. Now, we don't assess the level of effectiveness or how good that risk management plan is. We actually audit whether that risk management plan is being complied with by the water treatment company.
Okay.
And in the states of Victoria and New South Wales, you actually have to make depending on whether they get a pass or fail mark, you have to actually report that to either local government or state government in the respective states.
Oh, okay. So you as an independent guys, you look at that data, comes back to you guys to do an audit of the data and what's going on and give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, so you got to look at all the service reports, whether when it's been cleaned, if there's been any improvements on the actual cooling tower. You have to look at the microbial reports, and there are time tolerances that you have to take into consideration. And
that sounds something a lot of people are going to overlook. I mean, you're supplying the vigilance in that process, through an audit process.
Yeah, it's giving, I guess, the government and the building owners and the occupiers and the people who are ultimately responsible for the cooling tower to know that their contractors who are managing the system are complying with the risk management plan that's in place.
Yeah, okay. And then you got on the list of independent sampling. What's involved in that?
So we basically go in as an independent sampler. So we take water samples, but we've got no vested interest. So we don't do things to make them look right. We just identify what's there on site.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So independent quality control measure type thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll actually go out on site, do your own sampling, get that tested, and come back and report on how that's.
We give feedback. We'll tell you what your results mean, and we'll explain.
Yeah. So a lot of people they'll get the laboratories to do their water sampling, or they'll take the water sample themselves and take it to the laboratory, and then they get this this A4 sheet of paper with all these numbers on it and telling you about Legionella species 1 and 2 to 14 and other species. And most of the reports, they're written by scientists and they're very technical.
Yeah.
And unless you can interpret it, you don't know what it's saying.
Yeah.
And part of the service that we provide with our independent water sampling is that we'll provide you advice and interpret those results for you and let you know what you need to do if you get a positive result.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where, John, you kick in with your expert knowledge. So you've come from the UK and got a background in microbiology, yeah? So you've done this for a long, long time in a heavily compliant environment, yeah?
Yeah. I've worked in the lab environment, so I've been on the front line of it all, and I've seen all of it before. So it's nothing scary to me, and I can make sense of it. But I can understand why some people might find it a bit intimidating or difficult to understand. So.
Oh, fantastic. Well, obviously, there's no question that if Legionella and the compliance around water towers and water systems is a concern for you, obviously the guys at Compliance Water Solutions are the guys that. Did I get that right?
No, you got it wrong. Compliance Water Services.
It's on his shirt. Compliance Water Services. The guys are called. Now, how do they make contact with you, fellas?
If they want to contact us, they can call me on 0429 431 709, or they can go to our website at compliancewaterservices.com.au and send us a message from our website.
All right, thank you very much. Very informative series, Andrew. John, thank you very much for coming and being on the East Central Business Show and sharing this knowledge with us. Of course, this is part of a 4-part series, and this is the final of those. So if this is a subject that interests you or something you do need to be informed about, then obviously go find the rest of those videos, be they on YouTube, LinkedIn, the fellas' website here or elsewhere, and get yourself informed and certainly get in contact. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time on the East Central Business Show.